Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Yep, you see me up under this raggedy umbrella, walking. It's misty and it's rainy, but I'm still out here. I still gotta stay committed and in tune with what's going on with my body and try to maintain this weight. Really, I like to lose, but everything I'm trying so far to lose weight is not working. But I'm going to keep going because I know, just like I lost over 100 pounds, it takes fortitude, patience, diligence, and you just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you got to keep going. You can't just throw in the towel. Now, like I said, 5-6 years ago, I lost over 100 pounds. Watching what I eat, exercising, going to bed on time, watching all the simple sugars, and I've kept off 70 of that 100. I'm wrestling with about 30 pounds and trying to get that 30 pounds off. And no, I'm just not going to blame it on the pandemic anymore, because it's not the pandemic. But I didn't come on for that. I came on to talk about, and this might not even get uploaded, because the powers that be are very particular about what's being uploaded now. There's a lot of censorship going on, but to God be the glory if it does, to God be the glory if it doesn't. I just want to get this off my chest. In the Bible, there's a book called Ecclesiastes. And in Ecclesiastes, it talks about the different times and seasons under heaven, and the times and seasons that God ordains for every living, breathing person that he created. And one part of the scripture says, a time to be born, a time to die, a time for war, time for peace, time to gather stones, a time to cast away stones, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing, a time to love, and a time to hate. I want to focus on a time to be born and a time to die. And I want us to use wisdom about these vaccines and being vaccinated. I don't get any inkling or inclination that being vaccinated for the current pandemic is taking the mark of the beast. I don't. There are several ingredients in this vaccine that I don't agree with, and that can alter your DNA, and that is known to be true. And but taking this vaccine is not taking the mark of the beast, because Revelation is very clear on where the mark of the beast is that you take, how you would come to take it. It's very clear on that. It's no ambiguity. When you take the mark of the beast, you are showing the devil and all of his angels that you belong to him, and there will be no ambiguity. There will be no confusion when you take it. You will know exactly what it is you're doing. There's 20,000 question marks with this vaccine, but there's not one question mark for taking the mark of the beast. You will know it. If you read the book of Revelation, you will know that there's no confusion there. Everybody who receives the mark of the beast will know exactly what they're doing when they receive it. All of heaven will see it. All of hell will see it. So with that said, those of us who decide we want to take the vaccine, I just want y'all to think about why it is you're taking it. I want you to think about why it is you're going to take it. Everything you hear is good. You have pre-existing conditions and you can tolerate the vaccine. You want to take care of your family. There's older loved ones and relatives that you haven't seen that you want to see. You want increased immunity from other people who may have the virus. So you're going to take it. Your job is urging you to. People around you are urging you to. All of those are good reasons and great reasons to take the vaccine. You've weighed the risks. You've done the pros and cons, and you've decided that for you and your family, it's the right thing for you to do. Then more power to you. That's great. Because you're going to stand before God, and one of the questions you're going to have to answer of God is why you did or you didn't take care of yourself and your family. Because He created you for it. So if you feel that taking the vaccine is right, that's great. But what I don't want us to do is get this sense of pride when we take the vaccine and brand everybody else with a scarlet letter that decides they don't want to take the vaccine. All this judgment and this pride, well, you ought to care more about your family. You ought to care more about America. And that's just, you just need to get with the program. You don't want to be on the wrong side of history. You just need to think of more than yourself. You could be out here killing people and not know it. Let God be true. Let His word be true and every man a liar. God will judge. God will judge. You have to do what's right for your family. But the United States of America is still America. And in America, we have freedom of choice. It's still. And it's not just your choice. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. So cut the judgment. If that's what you want to do, great. Get it done. And Godspeed to you. But if that's not what everybody around you decides to do, keep your judgments to yourself, because they got to do what's right for them. And you don't know the underlying conditions or the scenarios they're finding themselves in as to why they're deciding that that's not something that they want to do. So just keep the judgments to yourself. And in that instance, mind your own business. Mind your own business. I just want us to really consider why it is we're taking the vaccine. And I want it to be for reasons that sit right before God. But I feel in my heart that some of us are taking the vaccine, thinking the vaccine has power in it that it doesn't. Taking the vaccine to ensure, because some of us in our head are operating in the spirit of fear. Our minds have jumped past the 90+% rate of people actually recovering from this virus. It's jumped to, I'm going to get the virus and I'm going to die. That's fear. And God didn't give us the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. Have a sound mind when you make the decisions you make for yourself and your family going forward. Yes, vaccine, no vaccine. Have a sound mind about it, but don't take it in the spirit of fear. And don't take it thinking that if I take it, I can't still get it. I can't still get the virus. Don't take it thinking, well, I'm going to take it. And if I get it, if I take it, then I won't die. I won't die. We're really morbid. Those of us who live in the spirit of fear are morbid. We see everything killing us. And partially, that's true. But I'm going to say this, and I want y'all to really think about it. COVID-19, and yeah, I said it. COVID-19 can't kill you if God says it's not your time to die. COVID-19 can't kill you if God says it's not your time to die. But anything can kill you if God says it's your time to die. God is going to make the decision how you die, when you die, where you die, and from what, if anything. Because he created you. You are breathing his breath of life in and out, all of your organs, everything that makes you you. He created. So he will decide whether you live or die. He makes that decision, not a vaccine. So do not take it under the false assumption that, okay, I get it, I'll take it, and I won't die. You'll die when God says it's time. May be from COVID, may not be. But you're not going anywhere. Not until he says, because he is the creator. He's the creator, and he's the decider. You can't decide whether or not you're going to draw your next breath. Only God can decide that. I don't care how great you are. I don't care how many scientific degrees you have. I don't care how filled with worldly knowledge you might be. You can't draw your next breath or take your next step without his approval and permission. You cannot. Without him, you're dust. No vaccine can supersede the will of God. No vaccine can prevent the will of God. And please, don't make it like I'm being insensitive. Don't make it like I'm saying don't take the vaccine. I'm not saying that at all. I just want you to question your motives. And I want you to take the vaccine for the right reasons if you're going to do it. I'm not being insensitive at all. You're looking at somebody who's seen a lot of grief and heartache outside of this vaccine, outside of the pandemic, before the pandemic. But during the pandemic, in August, out the blue, we got a call that my sister-in-law, my matron of honor in my wedding, had suddenly passed away. And it was COVID. It was COVID. She had pre-existing conditions and she passed away. It was Saturday she was hospitalized. By Monday, she's with the Lord. So you will never out of my mouth hear that COVID is not real. It is. It's quite real. But I want you to be in a state of prayer before the Lord on your real reasons for taking it. Because see, God sees the intent of the heart. And if it's fear, I want you to do it. I want you to get before God. And I want you to get his approval. And I want that spirit of fear cast out. Because spirits of fear travel in packs and grow and multiply. And okay, you're taking this vaccine out of fear. Well, anything else that may come about, whether it be harmful to you or harmless, out of fear, you're going to do it. And God didn't give you the spirit of fear, and he doesn't want you driven by the spirit of fear. His power, his love, and his sound mind is available to you if you belong to him. Seek the Lord while he might be found. Call upon him while he's near. He answers every time. He does not leave you comfortless. He'll come to you. And he gives wisdom liberally to anyone who asks of him. Be careful. Be careful, beloved. In all things, be careful. But as Ecclesiastes says, there is a time to be born and there's a time to die. And we can't decide that time. We can live to the best of our ability for the Lord while we have the time, but we can't decide the who, what, when, where, or why. Only God can decide that. Just something to think about. Y'all have a great day.